Discover the extraordinary fragrance Ariana Grande REM Cherry Eclipse. Delight in black cherry jubilee, sugared honeysuckle, marshmallow meringue, and glowing amber. Get the perfect fragrance. Ariana Grande's REM Cherry Eclipse, exclusively at Ulta Beauty.
And it's my honor to welcome back to the show Heather Long, who is chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union. She was formerly an award-winning columnist, editorial board member, and U.S. economics correspondent for The Washington Post from 2017 to 2025. Right now, there is a great deal of talk about affordability because it was such a big factor in the elections this week. What do you think the American people, Heather, were trying to say on economic issues by the votes they cast on Tuesday?
The frustration over high and rising costs is very much still there. And one of the big changes from a year ago is we're starting to see grocery prices creep up again, especially meat and coffee, which many people like in America and want to buy more of. And these are double-digit increases from a year ago. And the other big one is electricity. Both utility gas and electric costs are up, 5-6% from a year ago. And you can try to keep your thermostat a little bit lower or whatnot during the winter, but you can't just go without electricity very easily. I know there's a few people in Alaska who do it. Kudos to them. But the rest of us, these expenses are real.
Okay. Meanwhile, wholesale turkey prices, with Thanksgiving coming up, have actually spiked by 75% since October of last year, climbing from 94 cents per pound at that point to $1.71 per pound last month. That, according to an analysis by the Purdue University College of Agriculture. What can tariffs do to help this situation?
Yeah, we were laughing for a reason, right? They can, and I think in many cases they're just adding to the pain, both in the sense of a tariff as a tax, and so that adds to the price. But also, usually when there's a shortage, like think about the turkey situation or the beef situation in the United States with our own domestic agriculture, we turn to abroad and say, let's import. We're a huge market. Let's import turkeys. Let's import cattle and beef. And, if you do that right now, it's there's no discount and not much help because of the tariffs that are currently in place.
You and your commentary think there is a possibility that the Supreme Court, based upon their questioning this week, of the Solicitor General who was arguing for the administration side, they may block the president's power to impose what he calls emergency tariffs. What would the impact of that be on our economy?
It would be huge. Obviously, the White House doesn't want to see that, but it would trigger a refund of potentially $100 billion that has been collected just due to the national emergency tariffs that you're speaking of. Now, other tariffs would still remain in place, and the White House has been very clear that if the Supreme Court overturns the national emergency tariffs, that they would move quickly to impose different tariffs under a different law. So it's not like if the Supreme Court says goodbye to these tariffs, not legal, that we're suddenly, back to the tariffs that were in place under the Biden administration, much, much lower. And tariffs are here to stay. It's just what the national emergency tariffs do that are so different than anything else is it's like tariff by tweet. The president can wake up tomorrow and say, I think there's a national emergency due to whatever thing he wants to declare. And then, he's done it. He's jacked up tariffs specifically on India, on Brazil, on China, on Canada and Mexico, and on top of the baseline tariff of about 15% that's on almost all countries right now.
Okay, this week also the president has indicated his plans to use our defense establishment to attack potentially two significant countries, Venezuela and Nigeria. He, when speaking about that, referred to the Department of War, not the Department of Defense. Do you believe that this could have a disastrous economic impact if we actually go forward with those plans?
Look, anytime you've got global conflict, and particularly with Venezuela, global conflict so close to home, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty and there's going to be a lot of nerves about it, and it's going to have a negative impact. Now, how big of a negative impact? The reality is we haven't been importing much oil from Venezuela. Their economy's been wrecked for many years, so they're not a huge economic player. And, Nigeria is similar. It's a pretty decent sized economy. We do some trade with them, but it's certainly not a key trading partner for the United States. So I would say, yes, there'd be a negative impact, but is it something that would cause a recession in the United States? No, not on its own.
And what about the idea of the upside of tariffs? President Trump says that there are literally trillions of dollars of new investment that are flowing to the United States because of his tariff policy. Does that have any substance or credit to it at all?
Well, it was really interesting. I'm chuckling because where my jaw dropped, the part of the Supreme Court oral arguments this week where my jaw dropped was when the White House Solicitor General, the lawyer arguing on behalf of the White House, said that tariffs are, quote, not for the purpose of raising revenue, right? So they were trying to argue that this is not all about raising money. Even though $100 billion has already been raised from these tariffs, and every month that goes by, there's another 15 to 20 billion raised. So, you can't kind of have it both ways, right? And that's really what the justices were pushing back on. Look, the reality is we're running a huge deficit right now. This has been a pretty good year for the economy. I can certainly point out a lot of flaws, but, overall growth has been pretty strong. And yet in the past fiscal year, we're running $2 trillion deficits. And so the tariff money, it's not huge, but it does help, right? We did collect $100 billion. That is new revenue that is raised. I personally don't think it's the best way to raise revenue, but yes, how does that help? It does help a little bit to control our deficit overspending.
And when you look at the midterm elections coming up a year from now, 1 year from now, what do you think the impact of the economy as the central issue, as it always must be, is going to be?
Yeah, I think it's jobs are going to be back in the main part of the picture. It's clear, obviously, we were just talking about high costs are frustrating and have been frustrating and top of mind. But what's new right now and doesn't look like it's going to get better in 2026 is people are really worried about losing jobs. They're worried about losing jobs because of tariffs, because of uncertainty, because there's almost no hiring going on right now. And they're worried about what the AI impact is going to be. And, you saw that in the University of Michigan consumer sentiment that just came out for November. It's the second lowest reading ever, going back to the 1950s. People are worried not just about high costs, but about potentially losing their job.
And it's very tough to blame that on one individual or one political party or another. But wouldn't it be wonderful to return that sense of can-do American optimism and empowerment? Heather Long, chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union. You can read some of her commentary, most recent insightful commentary that is posted at our website at michaelmedved.com.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here, wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day, yeah?
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.